What is up? I am back. Let me turn myself down. I'm already loud enough. Sorry. Luckily, we have three other people here. They can keep talking that I trust. So, again, going back to Me Too. Me Too started in 2006 by a bunch of abused women that were being sexually assaulted, harassed, and or raped in relationships and in marriages and in the workplace. Now, I was a part of that Me Too movement back in 2006 because, again, my book, the conception of my book was like 15 years ago. And it had to do with the fact that I was ready to start healing because I was abusive as a wife. I was abusive as a mother, not physically, but verbally and mentally. I was combative with my husband twice, once in front of his family. But I didn't understand where all of this angst and animosity and rage and velocity was coming from. And it wasn't until I started actual talk therapy, not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, not somebody that was going to throw more pills at my face and use deductive reasoning. I harp on deductive reasoning because that and Obamacare is why our suicide rates are going up. I said it and I don't care. Doctors are not allowed to practice medicine anymore. The insurances are practicing medicine. The insurances who don't go to medical school, they're just data entry clerks, glorified data entry clerks, who type into a system your diagnosis, your age, your height, your weight, and they say, oh, you're too young to have this, we're going to deny it. And whether you have $5 million in the bank to save your life or not, we don't actually care. Thanks, Obama. Good job. First black president of America, you fucking killed it. Literally. So now we have this guy. We're not even going to talk about Trump because I voted for him. You can suck it, change channels, I don't care. I'm Republican. I am a lesbian that lives in a Republican land, and I love it. Oh, and I'm married to a man that it could probably be Jesus incarnate, and we will be together 21 years, July 11th. Why would I treat Jesus like shit? Why? Well, because I have a really tragic story. You know, I could use that. Because my body was used as an instrument, as a scanning card, if you will, for transactions, monetary transactions that my dad couldn't cover for his addictions. I have been molested by family members. My mom has tried to kill me twice. All of these things could be, quote unquote, excuses, reasons, whatever, for why I was doing what I was doing. But how do I stop what I was doing? How did I get to the point where I didn't want to hurt anymore because I was hurting the people that I loved the most? When you do that, it's because you don't know love and you don't love yourself. So the Me Too movement that started back in 2006 was started on amazing premises. It had an amazing concept. It still does. It's not past tense. It's misconstrued with the generation Y, Z, and millennials. Again, everybody born after 1994, you're ignorant as fuck unless you choose to educate yourself. So men are running around. And again, I'm Team Johnny Depp, I'm Team Marilyn Manson, and I'm going to tell you why. Why do I have the most viral video on Marilyn Manson on YouTube? Because I came out and had his back in the beginning and still have his back. And if you think that these dudes are done, that the Johnny Depp thing is done and over with, he's just getting started. And I'm proud for the men. As a victim of sexual assault and rape, I got a beautiful child out of that rape. I started looking for the whys. And in that, I found that I needed to excuse myself from situations where I was going to be reactive. I needed to relive the situations that made me so radioactive, which meant that I had to be raped and pillaged and assaulted and homeless and hustling and being shot at and watching people be killed and chopped up and murdered and burned and all of these, the list goes on and on. I had to relive all that. And that was just book 1. I'm ages 4 to 22 in my first book. Did I go to my abuser or any of my abusers? Most of them are dead now. Praise God. They died agonizing deaths, and I'm not fucking complaining. But to the main one, my child's father, biological father, I call him sperm donor. You know, I was just talking to my friend at Pride this weekend about, she saw her ex there and she had a flip out moment and she's like, why can't I shake this bitch? I said, it took me 34 years before I realized I never had to mention CLAY again in my life unless I was going to a fucking pottery class. Like, homie never, ever, ever is on my radar. He is Pluto. We canceled him. Which, by the way, can't cancel planets, just saying. And make up new astrological signs. Go follow my other podcast. Not my radio show, but my podcast. I talk about those things. That's stupid shit. Again, if you missed the first segment and you're just tuning in, as I can see y'all are, let me go to the chat. As I can see y'all are here. I love the middle fingers. Love a good middle finger. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to give y'all a little love. And you're going to ask me, why do you like haters? Haters make me a lot of money, 1. But 2, they're the people that I come after the most because they need the most healing. So, why do people bully? Why do people hate on each other? Why do people assault people in relationships? And why is it typically always men? It's not. Johnny Depp just proved that. Marilyn Manson just proved that. A lot of men that are not famous and don't have as much money and don't have that platform, it happens to them all the time. Jodi Arias, hello. Lorena Bobbitt, hello. That bitch in Clear Lake here in Houston that ran over her dentist husband in Clear Lake in broad daylight, like, wow, hello. My own mother tried to have my father killed. I wore a wire to throw that bitch in prison. What did my dad do? He wouldn't build her out. He blamed it on mental illness. Well, this bitch never went to the doctor the whole time I knew her. So, is she mentally ill? Or was she? Sure. So was he, and now we are as well. And I am the only sibling in my family that does not have any addictions in life other than to succeed and break the chains that bound me for so many years. being in a relationship. So the difference between Tarana Barnes, the original Me Too creator, who is a friend of mine from 2006, I was a part of that movement because I am a survivor of sexual assault, rape, and molestation in a relationship and within my family, and to pay off my dad's drug debts. Does that mean that your story is any less or more than mine? No, I'm just sharing mine. That's what I was asked to do, so that's what I'm doing. The biggest question is, what is healing? Well, last night I was watching a special about lesbians in Provo, Utah that were born Mormon, and they really struggle with the fact that they are gay, and now they honestly fear that their family is not going to be whole in the third hierarchy, which they consider the celestial level, which is their heaven, where they believe that there are these rooms where their entire family gets to go, which is why they procreate the way they do. If you're not familiar with the Latter-day Saints or Mormonism, the short version is a guy named, what's his name? Joseph something or another. Doesn't matter. I'm not Mormon. You can look it up. Went to New York. He was in Western New York. Said that Jesus came down and had many conversations with him. Jesus, the same guy who spoke a language that today, right now, 12:11 Central Standard Time in America, and around the world, whatever time you're in, nobody speaks or understands Aramaic. But this guy, he said that Jesus came down and spoke to him many times. Jesus was his homeboy. So, he wrote the Book of Mormon. So, in the original Bible, Old and New Testament, hold on, I'm looking up the name. Joseph Smith. There we go. I always come with receipts. I actually study theology and anthropology on purpose because I'm a spiritual worker and I was born different. And in order to not combat, but educate ignorant Christians in their hypocrisy, I have to come with facts. Therefore, I have to know all religions. Mormonism was before Christ. Mormonism came, Joseph Smith said that Jesus did come back from heaven. And he only came to Joseph Smith, and Joseph Smith interpreted what is now known as the Book of Mormon, and we are supposed to accept that as the third book of the Bible. Like literally, Old Testament, New Testament, hello, and the Book of Mormon. Sorry, Joseph, I'm not buying what you're selling unless you're selling me those psychedelics you were on when you were having these conversations with Jesus. I'm not buying what Utah is selling, except their weed, because it's really good. You know why Utah needs a lot of weed and Colorado? There's a lot of fucking weird shit going on out there. You want to know what the weirdest of it is? Sexual assault, rape, and harassment within relationships, marriages, and at work. And now at school. So they do this 2020 special on Hulu. It's called Mormon No More. I highly suggest you go watch it. It's the most beautiful thing. I cried myself to sleep, literally. I had like this mental breakdown. I had just come from Pride, which is so, it's so ominous to be a part of something so big and something that many people have died to get where we are today. Just like America, everybody